really become the most important tool that we have as artists. It gets your work in front of so many people, which can include galleries, like and having galleries actually reach out to you. It can include collectors, getting more commissions, and definitely connecting with other artists. So in this class, we'll take a look at how to get your Instagram account set up if you don't already have Instagram. And if you do already have an Instagram account, we'll take a look at how to grow your account and really maximize its potential. So if you don't already have an Instagram account set up, you'll want to just go into the App Store and search for Instagram. Follow the prompts to set up a new account. And when you open an Instagram account, you'll have to choose a name, and it's good to choose something as close as possible to your actual name. So for me, Kristy Gordon was taken, but I chose Kristy Gordon Art. And then on your profile page, you'll be able to write a little bit in your bio. I wrote artist, and you can also include a link to your website. I actually have a Linktree link here so that I can have multiple links. So I've got my website and some links to different classes, but you could just have a link to your website. And then the buttons along the bottom, we've got profile here. This is the page that we're on, where we can see all the different posts that I've made. The button beside this grid is basically the Reels page, where you can see all of the Reels that I've made. Those are just 15 to 20-second videos, and that's actually what's performing best right now on Instagram. Beside that, we've got IGTV videos. Those are basically videos that are 1 minute or longer in length. And beside that is a button that basically shows all of the tags, all of the times that my work has been posted on someone else's account, and they've tagged me in that post. And then along the bottom, we've got, as I say, the profile page right here, and then there's shop, which I've never actually made an Instagram shop. I find that usually when a painting sells, the person emails you and you kind of go from there, but that's a possibility. Then we've got the Reels button here, which I'll talk more about in a moment. We've got the search button here where you can search different accounts if you know like someone in particular that you're looking for. And then tags here, which is short for hashtags. So you can search any word to see how well the hashtag is performing. Under oil painting here, you can see that there's a lot of different posts. A reel is always sort of the top one. Reels really are performing best on Instagram right now. And then there's two buttons here, top and recent. So on the top page, you get the posts that are performing best. And then on recent, you basically get everyone who's tagged oil painting in chronological order. So you get really buried, on the recents tab. Our goal is to end up on the top tab. So that's the search button. And then the button beside that, the little house icon, is your home page, and that's basically where you can see the feed of all the people that you follow. It's a good idea to like and comment on a bunch of their posts. It really helps them with the algorithm, and it's just a nice thing to do. And you can see how the vertical format photos turn out, they kind of show up the most because they take up the most space on your screen. So it's best to do vertical format. The square is not too bad, but a horizontal photo really isn't going to show up very well at all. It'll get a little bit more hidden. And then along the top here, we've got stories, and the stories just last for 24 hours and then they disappear. So stories can be a good place to post something that's maybe not a photo of your painting specifically, maybe adds a little more depth to who you are as a person, maybe photos of you hiking or whatever. But on your profile page, it's really best to only post photos of your art or photos of you in your studio, things related to your art. And then at the top here, we've got the direct messages button to read messages that people have sent directly to you. Then we've got the notifications button here where you can see everyone who's, liked or commented on your work or anything like that. And you can also kind of see when someone tags you in a post. And a nice thing to do actually if someone tags you in a post is to hit this little airplane button and click add reel to your story, and then just type in thanks at and then tag them. So just start to type their name and then select them when you see them come up, and then click send to and click your story. And now you can see that the little circle, which is my story, has a red circle around it. And so that basically brings us to the 2 ways to make a post in terms of having it show up on your profile. So we've covered stories, which is the kind of post that disappears within 24 hours. But the 2 main ways to make a post are either the Reels button or this regular post button. So let's look at the regular post button first. So if you click this little crosshairs, you see how it kind of changes it from the square format to fit whatever proportions your photo or video is. So like I said, the vertical format photos are best. You can see how small like a horizontal one ends up being. And it can be nice to kind of post like a photo and maybe a video. So you could click this multi-image button here to do what's called a carousel post, and then select a couple photos. You can kind of choose what order. Maybe it's nice to have the photo first and then the video second. And carousel posts are a good way to post with a regular post because it encourages people to spend just a little bit more time on the post, you know, looking through multiple images. Let's see if we can find a carousel post here. Yeah, here's one by Blue Review. So, you know, they've got multiple images and you can kind of scroll through them. And it's good in the caption to write something like, you know, asking a simple question like, what would you title this painting? Or, you know, if you're showing multiple images, multiple paintings, which is your favorite painting? So that it kind of encourages people to leave comments in the comment section, because right now the 3 main things that determine whether Instagram will show your posts to like most of your followers is, first of all, frequency of posting. So it's not enough to be posting only once a month. You should post at least once a week, but as you can see on my page here, it's totally fine to repost the same thing. These are reels, so they're kind of interesting videos. 2 to 3 times a week is really ideal, but if you post once a week, that's fine, but less than that is really not enough. And then the other thing that's, you know, really the most important thing right now is dwell time. So that's the amount of time that people spend looking at your post. And that's why something like a reel is really the best thing. And then the third thing is initial engagement. So when you first make a post, Instagram kind of shows that post to like a very small amount of your followers and kind of judges how much initial engagement that post gets to decide whether it'll show it to many more of your followers. So things like likes and comments within the first 5 minutes of posting your post is initial engagement. So that's why asking a simple question in your caption can be a really smart thing to do to kind of boost initial engagement, and of course posting like really good content. So that's really why Reels is the very best way to go. So if you click on the Reels button here, it takes you to the Reels. You can basically scroll through some of the Reels that people are posting, and then if you tap this photo icon and then click this, it'll take you to your camera roll and you can select the video that you want to upload. I've edited my video in Final Cut, and you can choose some audio. And you can kind of move this around to select which portion of the song. Let's turn up the volume. But I think that's a good part of the song. And then if you hit preview, you can kind of see how it's working with the music. And so for these videos, I've been kind of editing it so that I film the video from start to finish, the whole process of me painting. And then I edit it together so that I just take the best brush strokes from like the beginning, middle, and end. And I find that makes a good reel. And you can add some text at the top if you want, and then you just click share to, and this is where you can write a caption. And it's good to write a question in here. So let's say, what's your favorite stroke? And I've got a eye painting workshop coming up this weekend, so I'll mention that. And then you'll want to select a cover, which will be the featured image that shows on your profile. I'll just scroll to the end where it looks nice, maybe with the paintbrush in there. Then I'll hit done. And then it can be nice to tag people. So I'm going to tag the New York Academy of Art because that's where I'm teaching the workshop. And from there you can just hit share. And then it's a good idea to put some hashtags in the comments for any of the kinds of posts, whether it's regular or reels. And you can watch the full video about hashtags, which really goes into a lot of depth. But it's basically a good idea to put 5 to 7 hashtags in the comment section. And since the selection of hashtags really depends on the type of work you're posting as well as account size, you can't really just copy hashtags from someone else. You have to kind of do a little research to figure out which ones would best fit your account. But once you've typed that in, you can just press post and they'll appear in the comment section and function from there. And so that basically shows you the different types of posts you can make in Instagram. And just a quick note, you can also actually access Instagram stories and reels in the regular post section at this bar at the bottom, so you can just click stories or reels or live as well. And so the best times to post on Instagram are basically in the morning and the evening in the time zone of wherever most of your followers are. So most of my followers are in New York, so from about 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. is a good time to post, Eastern Standard Time, and then again around 7 to 9 p.m. I find 8 p.m. is a really good time. And then just looking a little bit more at the types of videos I'm making, like it's definitely good if you film a whole video to kind of cut together the best brush strokes in the beginning, in the middle, and sort of in the end. And then it can also be nice to add in some videos of yourself or other people or your palette just to change it up a little. Like here's one that's been performing really well. It even has some kind of cuts of me painting and just like a variety of shots, So for the more complex paintings where it wouldn't make sense for me to film my whole process, it might take a whole month or something to paint the painting. It can be useful to just take like a video of some of the key brush strokes, a strand of hair, a highlight here and there, just some nice finishing details when the painting already looks good. So that is a really good strategy that I suggest to you guys. Here's another one where, again, you can see I just did a couple brush strokes towards the end, the finishing touches stage, and then I kind of show a pan of the whole painting. And so I do most of the video editing in Final Cut, but you could also actually use the app InShot, and you can just download that from your app store. It's totally free. You can select video, click new, and then just select the video that you want to edit. So maybe you have, a few pieces that you want to edit together. For now, I'm just going to take this video here, and it opens it up like this, and you've got your little timeline below. And this is already edited, but you could kind of bring in several, longer videos, and you can cut them. So you select the scissors tool and just click, scroll this down to where you want to cut it, and then you just hit the check mark button, and now you've kind of cut out the whole middle segment. You can also, another really useful tool is to just kind of speed it up a little bit. A lot of the time the videos on Instagram, I'll just speed them up a little bit, like 150 is a good amount. It still looks like a kind of real-time brush stroke, but it's just a little faster. Nobody has any attention span on Instagram, so you don't want it to be slow and laborious. And there's basically lots of different functions here. You can definitely find a YouTube video that shows you what all the features do. So OneShot can be a really useful tool for you as well. And one other tool that you may want to get is this $4 adapter that I ordered off Amazon. You can just search iPhone tripod adapter and make sure that it's an adapter that fits the size of your phone. This one's a universal size, and it basically just allows you to mount your iPhone on a tripod so that when you're filming you can get a nice steady shot. And so the last thing in terms of how to grow your Instagram account is that you can also do paid posts with social influencers. So if you click the search button and accounts like Blue Review or Creative Uprising or Academic Artworks are really amazing accounts. You can see they show a nice range of really beautiful work. They have absolutely huge followings, and you can just private message them and ask them if they do paid posts and what the charge is, and have your profile really nicely curated before you reach out to them, and they'll take a look at your profile and basically decide whether it's a good fit And they do get a lot of requests, so there's no guarantee, you know, but it's worth asking, and it's pretty affordable. It's, you know, it might cost about $45 for them to do a paid post, and you might get, you know, about 300 followers from the one paid post. So it's a really good way to go. I wouldn't go with any of the accounts that are like, you know, reaching out to you, trying to convince you to do a paid post. They obviously don't have very well functioning accounts if they have to like search for people. But I would highly recommend this. It's not cheesy. A lot of people do it, and having done it once, then these accounts know of your work, and they're pretty likely to you know, do a free post of your work in the future as well. There's a couple ways to see how well your posts are doing. You can click the Insights page from your profile page, and this will show you the global overview of how well your account is doing and how well your posts are doing. You can see accounts reached and account growth and the amount of interactions your posts overall are getting. And then you can also click on an individual post and see how it's performing. With Instagram Reels, they've recently added the ability to view insights. You can kind of see, you know, number of plays, number of shares, number of comments, etc. in here. And you can even get a little more information with a regular post than you can in Reels. So if you click on Insights right underneath the post, you can see the number of profile visits that came from the post. You can see the number of impressions, the reach, you know, how many people found it from the Explore page, which I'll talk about in a second, or other things like hashtags as well. And so when you first click on this magnifying glass button, it takes you to the Explore page. So posts that are performing well will end up in the Explore page, and that's really our goal. You'll get a lot of people following you who don't already know of you when your work appears on the Explore page. So that gives you a basic introduction to Instagram and how to use it to really maximize its potential. And I always tell everyone actually that I think everyone should take Dina Brodsky's Instagram class. It's so incredibly thorough. It goes into way more detail than I've gone. And she runs the Instagram accounts of many New York galleries and schools, and she's just like an absolute magician with Instagram. So I just highly suggest it to everyone. I have a discount code which I'll include in the description of the video, which you can use if you sign up for one of her classes. And I just can't recommend it highly enough. My account was actually stuck for like 4 years at 8,000, just hovering underneath 10,000 there. And then I took her class, and within a year, you know, it's gone up to 30,000. But of course you have to do the things that she says. It's not enough to just take the class. So doing all these things and putting the time in, but it doesn't have to be a lot of time. Once you get a few reels made, you can kind of rotate among them, just, you know, repost similar things and maybe post twice a week. And you know, it doesn't take that much time once you get it rolling. So I hope you found this class helpful. Definitely follow me on Instagram and I'll follow you back. And I'm excited to see how your Instagram account grows.